What's up, my fellow multifamily investors? So why are smaller 10 to 30 unit apartment deals the best ones if you're a newbie trying to get started in this space? Let's go. So I'm Justin Brennan, multifamily investor. I started with one condo all the way to over 1,000 units today and 185 million in assets, and we're going to 10,000 units and $1 billion. So I have three questions for you. Do you want to break into the multifamily space, but maybe you're overwhelmed with large apartment complexes? Are you feeling intimidated by calling brokers or owners thinking, what do I even say? Are you worried that maybe you can't afford it? You need too much money or deals are hard to find? If so, then stay tuned. Today I'm going to be breaking down why smaller apartment properties, 10 to 30 units, are a perfect entry point for you as a beginner trying to get started. Let's dive in. First and foremost, the 10 to 30 unit apartment space, it's mostly owned by more mom and pop investors, not as many institutional groups and stuff. That means they're a little bit easier to find. You're not dealing with complicated ownership structures. It's more approachable. It's not as intimidating with corporate brokers. Next, open to deals, right? They're less hedged on often and they're unaware of the true market values of the buildings, leaving you the opportunity, offering better pricing, creative financing, maybe even seller carries. But look, if you want to learn the top 3 ways to approach brokers and owners, watch my video on the top 10 questions that they're going to ask so you know how to respond. Reason number 2, the financing is easier. Keep in mind, this is a business, so the lenders are not looking at you personally, they're looking at the property. Even for total newbies, whether you're a doctor, you're an attorney, you're a 9-to-5er, multifamily loans with solid credit, cash, and business plans will get the deals done. Banks prefer smaller, less riskier properties when your experience is limited or nothing to get started. Plus, look, the down payment, right? The equity in is much lower, so you can bring it in with you and other people. Reason number 3, the creative financing options. Smaller deals lend themselves to owners who tend to be a little bit more flexible, right? You can uncover their motivations. Are they looking for retirement, capital gains treatments to avoid that? Maybe they're burnt out. Maybe they're out of state. So look, if they say they want steady income, you can offer them seller financing deals, right? Fair interest rates, monthly payments, avoid taxes. When both sides feel that they're understood, negotiating, and that's where the real magic happens. Number 4 reason is faster scaling. Think about it. You have 2 options. Go buy 10 single family homes or one building with 10 units in it. The economies of scale, right? Forced appreciation through rents, increased values. It's not a comparable approach, it's an income approach. It's an operating business. That's how it's looked at by both the banks and yourself. Operation efficiencies. You maintain one roof, one HVAC system, one plumbing system, not 10, right? You get to think about these things when you're comparing single family investing versus a multifamily building. It's one. The economies of scale and the efficiencies are there. Number 5 reason is the lower risk. Look, if you're in a learning curve phase where you're trying to learn this stuff, it's lower risk. Early mistakes, one small property, it's fixable with a small check, not a big one. Small zeros, not a lot. It's not a huge disaster. You can cut your teeth on it. Small deals moving to large complexes is the way to go. 10 to 30 units, then you can move up. You're minimizing the downside and the high risk that people have about losing a bunch of money if it's not only just yours, but also investors. 10 to 30 units is a place to start. So let's recap this real quick, and then I'm going to break into a deal and a case study for you. Mom and pop owners are more accessible and flexible. The financing is more available to beginners when you're in the 10 to 30 unit space, smaller. Creative financing options are more available if you have limited capital. Faster wealth building through efficiency and economies of scale. The mistakes which you're going to make, they're smaller, they're more manageable, less zeros. So to kind of put this all into context, I'm going to show you a deal of an actual mentee student in our community and exactly what they did, how they did it, and how it was structured from a legal and a financial perspective. Let's go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you Brian, a mentee in our community, wanted to get into his first deals, has a dog walking business, okay? Dog walking business. Normal guy, no expert, not a lot of capital, first deal, trying to get into it. He's going out of state because he's in California, right? Not the greatest place to invest on the landlord-tenant laws. So he's going out of state. He went to Oklahoma in Tulsa. First deal, 22 units. Let's break this down, show you exactly how he did it. His money in, what he got out, and the benefits of structuring and doing this way was this syndication, guys. It's syndication. All that is a sexy word for collaborating money. And it's a skill set that if you learn it, you can make millions. So let's jump into it. First deal, 22 units, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So Brian, the price of the property, $1.8 million for 22 units. Closing costs, right? He had closing costs in the deal of $100,000. He was going to do some renovations on it with him and his investors, $200,000. So all in, $2.1 million. all in 2.1 million bucks for a 22 unit deal. They go out and they get a loan for $1,470,000. That's a 70% loan to cost deal. Getting that loan, by the way, is easier than getting a $200,000 house loan. Do you know why? If you know why, chime in the comments. The answer is it's a business. DSCR, debt coverage ratios. The bank is looking at the property, the financials of the property, not you. You are secondary in the process. Your credit, your history, they're not digging through your tax returns, digging through your W-2s, doing an exam on you inside and out to give you the loan. They're looking at the property. The property is what matters. You are almost irrelevant. They just want to make sure you're not a fraud. You get the loan, okay? So $1,470,000 loan, the equity to come in is $630,000. Now, if you were to do this and try and do it alone, you'd have to come in with all that money. Most people don't have it. Most people don't have $630,000 and let alone $1 million because you need a lot more than that, right? Because you gotta have reserves. But $630,000 sitting around, you can go pump into a 22-unit deal. So most people stop. They go, I can't do it. Let's go do a single family. Or let's go do something else. And you quit before you even get started. Not understanding the proper way to do this and how you can syndicate and do it with some of your money and other people's money. So this is how we break this down. So $630,000 is the down payment. Brian, as the syndicator, the sponsor, the general partner, because that is his title, syndicator, sponsor, general partner, he's going to bring in 10% of the required down payment. That's $63,000 bucks. It gets fun. Watch this. Other people's money. That's the OPM game. $567,000 from other people. That was 5 friends and family and people he knew, some people with our community, some people from his own, another business partner came in and boom, $560,000. The deal was a good deal. It produced good returns for investors and for himself, so people were attracted to that deal. Because it was a good deal, the money finds you, okay? Let the deal drive the money. So he also gets, as a sponsor and syndicator and general partner for putting the deal together, what's called an acquisition fee. That's paid within about 7 days from the total closing cost of the deal to him. So $63,000 goes in, right? $36,000 literally is coming out. He's out of pocket now $27,000 and has control and ownership of a 22-unit multi-million-dollar asset. Like that, okay? You got to get over some of these limiting belief systems, you guys. This is how you do it. This is how I became a multi-millionaire. This is how we went from 1 condo to 1,100 units and 185 million. It's not by trying to do it alone, okay? So let's walk through it a little bit further. So what does Brian get? Okay, because I get this question a lot. Okay, great, this is sexy, great, Justin, we love it, but what do I get? Okay, here's what you get. You get an acquisition fee, $36,000. Asset management fee for managing the managers, the property managers, okay? That's gonna be 1% on the revenue per month. You're gonna get $70,000, what Brian got, $70,000 in a paper loss that comes through to offset his income from his dog walking business and his other income he has. $70,000 bucks. He basically wiped out his federal tax returns. Year 1. He's going to get 40% of the cash flow, right? Every month. 40% of any profits or cash refi out. Any of that stuff, he's getting 40% of that for bringing in 10% of the money, right? Keep in mind, you're Xing your money. 10% in, 40% out. 10% in, 40% out. I mean, where else do you get this? Okay, let's keep going. Construction management fee, because they're doing renovations. He's getting 8% of the construction cost paid to him every month while the construction's going on. He's set to make over $168,000 in cash flow and over $350,000 in profits from the deal for $27,000 out of pocket. Now you tell me where else you pull that one off. And that's even before the $70,000 tax write-off and the other money he's going to get from the tax benefits. So in summary, 22-unit deal, multi-million-dollar asset that he now owns and has control over in the Midwest. He had $63,000 invested. He got a he's out of pocket $27,000 because he got $36,000 acquisition fee. He has 100% control, massive tax write-offs. He's set to make 37% a year on his money. 37% a year on his money over the 5-year hold of that property, okay? $168,000 in cash flow, $350,000 in profits for $27,000 out of pocket. You can do this too. You just need to learn the skill sets. Make sense? So let's go. So look, if you found this video helpful, like this video, subscribe for more investing content just like this. Do me a favor, drop a comment here in with your personal biggest obstacle so that way we can cover it next time in another video. So click the videos in here if you want to watch on how to find great deals, okay, number one, and then how to structure and finance and raise capital, the other video as well. And take care and happy investing. See you on the next one.